everyone, welcome back to my channel, and it's an exciting day because I have one of my purchases, actually two of my purchases from the Coach Fall 2025 drop, and I cannot wait to break into this box. So Jane from James Jam and I are going to collab because we both got some items from the drop. So head on over to her channel and see what she got once you finish watching my video. Or if you've already come from Jane, thanks for coming over. I am so excited. So this was, of course, another crazy drop. Okay, I'm so excited I can't even talk. And Autumn Beckman had actually texted some items that were available as soon as the drop was listed. So I happened to be home. You know, I was homesick last week, and luckily I woke up to use the bathroom, and I saw that there were messages on my phone, and I saw that the drop had dropped, and I bought one item at that time. And I really, you know, it's the middle of the night, you're halfway groggy. I don't mind doing, you know, like those late night shopping, pajama shopping incidents, but I really had to concentrate and focus. And I'm lucky that I waited, because the bag that I thought I wanted isn't the bag that I got, because this bag became available. Any guesses? All right, I want to try to keep this brief. Let's break into the wrappings. You know, these are sealed, and it's like an archaeological dig to try to break through all of the wrappings. So I might have to just skip and fast forward through some of this. So I'm assuming this is a shoulder strap, and let me get that detached. All right. Oh, a little sneak peek. All right, let's get this all undone. Tag still attached. All right. I hope that wasn't the strap, and kind of think maybe it was. Oh well. Nope. I'm leaving the price tag on just in the event there is an issue, but it's the Soft Empire 21. Look at this. All right, let me get it totally unwrapped. Oh my gosh. As the Crocodile Hunter used to say, isn't she gorgeous? And yes, she is. I am so excited. So this is in maple. This is my second bag that I bought in maple. They call this the Soft Empire 21. So I'm counting on this to have really super, super soft leather. In fact, I want to just kind of give some info, and we'll just let this roll. All right, so the straps have been freed. Let's get all of this off. I'm really glad that this didn't come from the shelf at Dillard's. It came with all of the factory wrapping. So I am really grateful for that, because sometimes when you buy from the department store, you just never know what you're going to get. So I'll get some of this other plastic off, but I just want to be able to show you guys what it looks like. So here we go. They changed this version from the original drop and gave it longer handles. So you remember when this was originally released, it was a buy now from the runway, and it had the shorter top handles. When I first saw this, I kind of knew that there was something wrong. Well, not wrong, but different. And I couldn't really put my finger on it. And then I realized that the top handles were a little bit longer. But I think that that's a good thing, because if you're wearing this in the winter, you're going to have plenty of room to use this over a really thick coat. So I'm happy with that. And guys, when he tried to shoulder this bag, this is not a shoulder bag, okay? If you want a shoulder bag, you need to get a different Empire. This is not a shoulder bag. It's intended to be a satchel. It's intended to be top handle or crook of the arm. I mean, even if I took these big flamingo sleeves off, there's just absolutely no way. I don't care how small you are, these are not shoulder straps. So I will be very content to use this as intended as a top handle. Please don't get this bag and expect to be able to wear this on your shoulder, because it is just not happening. So I am curious to see the inside, because I've never seen inside one of these bags. My goodness. It couldn't be packed any better. And people complain that there's all this stuffing in these bags. Here's the dust bag. But yet Louis Vuitton throws everything in a dust bag and tosses it in a box, and nobody seems to care. All right, so we have our little silicone packets. Let's stitch those. And here is the inside. So you have more stuffing. So here's the story patch on the back wall. And then it looks like these plastic pieces. Okay, that's the end of the little side adjustments, because you can unbuckle this like with my other Empire, and you can make this tighter or you can make it wider. So this side really just has the story patch, and then on the other side you have a slip pocket that has a snap. So I don't want to bend these. So if you want, you can keep the snap closed, which would kind of give you 2 compartments, or just leave it open. And this seems to be big enough to put a card case. So here's a little better look. And guys, this leather is absolutely luscious. Luscious. I love it. All right, I have the shoulder strap, and I really like that this is a nice thick shoulder strap, because we like it thick, all right? I've been hanging around Winnie for way too long. Yep. All right. That wasn't too bad. Like I said, I will open this more thoroughly at a later time. So you do have your strap keeper here, and this looks like it adjusts a lot. So this is currently on the 1, 2, 3, 4th hook. There's 8 holes, not hooks, but holes. 8 holes. It's set to the middle. Let's see what this looks like crossbody. And the main thing that I think about when I'm looking at a bag with this type of a handle is, when you have a crossbody, is it going to be like at the under boob? Because that wouldn't be cool. But I don't think so. So, nope. Well, it kind of is. No, I guess it's okay. I would probably, the bag itself sits on my hip, but I'm going to lower this a little bit so that the top of the handles doesn't sit underneath the bosom. But more than likely, I will almost never use the shoulder strap. I think it's really convenient, and the strap itself is just beautiful. I love that there's contrast stitching. It's very slight, but it is a little bit of a contrast. It's a slightly lighter brown. Not quite contrast, but almost. But I do like that. And it's beautiful and soft. This is one of the softest bags that I have felt from Coach. And it does say genuine full grain leather. And considering that this is full grain leather for $295. This is a bargain. I mean, this is an absolute bargain. So let's get out the second item, and then I want to clean up some of this mess here. So my second item came from Coach, but when I ordered this, I had no idea where I was ordering this from because it was the middle of the night and I was really very groggy. So this came direct from Coach, and it's a fairly large box considering the item. Here's my item. Oh, it's a lot heavier than I expected it to be. But I was so excited for this. Forgive me, Dee Dee. But I got the Cassette charm. I had to have it, right? I mean, one of my favorite possessions, actually my favorite possession as a teenager in the 80s, was my Walkman. And I remember getting the Cassette Walkman when it was first released, and I was just in absolute heaven. I literally was never without it. I adored it. So here it is, up close and personal. It feels like a cassette tape, like a real cassette tape, only it doesn't have the little prongs here for winding it, but this is just adorable. And yes, it's silver hardware, and am I going to put it on this bag with gold hardware? I surely am. So here's what it looks like. Fall, here I come. I am just absolutely thrilled. So if you're thinking about this bag, guys, I would snatch it before it disappears, because you never know with Coach. Sometimes they release something and before you know it, it is gone. So that's what I have for you guys today. Let me know down in the comments if you got anything from the 2025 fall drop, and I will see you guys in my next video. And I know I'm going to have a story time regarding a bag that I recently purchased and the hell and high water that I've gone through waiting for it to get here. But that's for another day. I also will be doing a comparison between the Empire 34 and the 21, because I have a feeling the capacity is going to be very similar. So if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. I'd love to see you back. Give this video a thumbs up and drop me a comment, and I'll see you soon. Bye.